Yo, what's good, my people? You're back here again, and today we're diving into CSS Attribute Selectors. Now, if you've been keeping up with me, you know HTML elements can have attributes that give extra detail about what's being marked up. But here's the trick. Did you know that you could use those same attributes in CSS to target and style elements directly? Now, in this video, I'm breaking down the essentials, the basics of attribute selectors, the presence and value selectors, and the powerful substring matching selectors. Now, these bad boys will level up your CSS game and get you styling smarter, not harder. And before we get stuck in, just a quick reminder, I'm a self-taught web developer with over 3 years of professional experience. No uni degree, no computer science degree, no boot camp, just a lot of grind, trial and error. Now, if I can pick this up, trust me, so can you. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. Now let's get to work. All right, just a quick heads up. If you're not comfortable with HTML and CSS selectors, check out these videos, which will get you up to speed to this point. But if you're ready to level up, let's jump in. All right, let's start with the presence and value selectors. Now, these are all about targeting elements based on their attributes, whether they just have the attribute or the attribute matches a specific value. All right, so here's the breakdown of what you'll be working with. So let's go to our styles.css. As you can see here, we only have the body tag, and let's do something. So for the first type is if you have an attribute. So this matches elements that have the specific attribute. Doesn't matter what the value is. So let's say if we had an anchor tag that had the attribute of title, and let's say we could change the color to blue. Now, this means that any A tag with a title attribute gets styled. So if the A tag has no title, this style won't be applied. Now let's do another type. Let's do same anchor tag, but let's do a specific value. So we want that to equal to, okay, let's put, google.com. And let's put something like text decoration is underline. Now this will underline an anchor tag that has the href value of google.com. This essentially means that only links pointing to http:/google.com will get underlined. All right, now let's do another example. So let's do, if we're trying to target a paragraph with the class, and we put the tilde equals, and let's do special, the class of special. And let's put the font weight for that to be bold. So with doing the class and the tilde equals class of special, this targets elements where the attribute's value matches exactly or is part of a space separated list. So it would have to be a paragraph with the class of special for the font weight to then turn bold. So if a paragraph tag has a class of special or special is one of its multiple classes, boom, you'll get your text bolded. Now let's go through another one. So let's do target a div. And as you can see, we're putting these square brackets for all sort of attribute selectors. So let's do lang, and we'll put this pipe, and let's say equals, all right, let's say equals English. And let's put a border of 1 pixel solid black. So this is great for language-based styling. So let's say if we change this to ZH. So this will then target anything that has the language of ZH, which is Chinese, and change the border to be a 1 pixel solid of black. So this is perfect if you want language-based styling. So if it's depending on what language certain content is, that to change the styling for that. All right, so let's go through another example of some selectors in action. So let's just first go through the HTML just to show you what we have here. So we have a H1 that's here. That's the heading. And then we have an unordered list and 4 list items. So item 1 doesn't have a class. 2 has the class of A. Item 3 has a class of A and B. And then item 4 has a class of AB. So let's add some classes first. So I'll do it on a list item that has a class. So just any class. And I'll put the font size to 120%. So I'll go through the changes, but you can probably notice that some of them have increased in font size. So let's do another one of class, let's do that, equals A. And let's do the background color of yellow. And then we need to close that opening tag just here, or the opening bracket. And lastly, let's do a list item that have the class, the class of exactly A. And let me just put the color red and just close out that bracket as well. So yeah, so let's go through exactly what's happening here. So the first one, we've got a list item of class. Now this targets any list item, the attribute, the elements li, with a class attribute, regardless of its value. So as we can see, items 2, 3, and 4 have got a big bump in terms of the font size. Now that's because the first list item doesn't have any class in it at all. Now the second one is a list item that has a class that includes a. So it only matches any classes. We can see here that only item 2 has a background color on it. And lastly, we've got a list item class with a tilde and then equals a. Now this matches items where a is part of a white space separated list. Now both items 2 and 3 get styled with red text because they have a in their class. So let's put this here. So we can see here, item 2 has the class of a, and then item 3 includes a. Now this doesn't affect item 4 because it's not separated with a space at all. So this reads as the class AB. However, this reads as the class A, and there's a class B associated with this item 3. Now with these selectors, you've got precision control over your styling based on attributes. Whether it's for forms, links, or anything else, these tools have got your back. All right, now let's get into substring matching selectors. Now these are perfect when you need to style elements based on whether an attribute's value starts with, ends with, or just contains a specific substring. Basically, if you want to level up your targeting game, this is where it's at. So let me just give you the rundown on a few selectors. Let me just I'll just put a comment here. So let's say substring matching selectors. And so yeah, let's go through our first example. So let's do a list item that has the class, and we need to put the upper, so like the chevron equals, and let's put, for now, let's put box and then hyphen. And let's just change the color of that to blue. Now, if a list items class starts with box hyphen, like let's say if it was box hyphen warning or box hyphen error, it will get the blue text. Now let's go through another example. So let's do list item class, let's do $ equals box. Just leave it like that. And let's just change the font weight to bold. Now this basically reads as any class that ends with hyphen box, like if it was a warning hyphen box or error hyphen box, gets the bold text. Now let's go through another one where let's see list, and then yeah, let's actually do exactly that, apart from I'll just take out this hyphen here, and let's do the background color of let's do light blue. So for this, with the asterisk equals, so whether it's box hyphen warning, error hyphen box, or even alert hyphen box large, if box is in there somewhere, light green will be the background color for this element. All right, so let's go through an example. So let me replace the HTML that we have here. So I just changed the heading. However, so it's still 4 list items. However, the classes are changed. As you can see, all of them have a class. First one has a class of A, second has a class of AB, third has a class of BCA, and the last class has a class of BCABC, item 4. And actually, let's comment out all our previous stuff. So it's starting from here. Okay, so let's add a few classes. So let's do a list item class. I put the upper chevron equals A. Now let's put the font size, kind of similar to before. Let's do the font size of 120%. Let's do another one. List class. Yep. Oh, I actually did suggest it. Let's see if I can get it there. Cool. And then let's put a background color of yellow. After we've added them, I'll explain exactly what each one is doing. So let's do it. And last one, list class. Now let's do the same. Oops. Asterisk equals A. And let's do the color equals red. Cool. So what's exactly happening here? So for the first one, let's do a new example. So you could differentiate, or I'll just put it all the way here. Now for the first one, this matches any list item where the class starts with A. So as we can see here, item 1 and 2 get bumped up to 120% font size. And we can see here that only the first and the second one start with A. That's what you do with the upper chevron and then equals. So if it starts with that. Now for the second one, it matches any list item tags where the class ends with A. Oh, I actually made a mistake here. So this one, actually there was a mistake there. As I can see, it was meant to be a $ instead of the asterisk. So this matches the tags where the class ends with A. So you can see that the styling has changed. So now this only affects the first item and the third item, as we can see here. So that's what the $ equals means, if it ends with the class of A. So this one's if it starts with the class of A, this if it ends with the class of A. Now the last one, so class asterisk equals A. Now this targets any list item where the class contains A anywhere in the value. So as you can see, this matches all 4 items, as they all got the color red. And as you can see here, all of them have A within their class. Now, if you've messed with regular expressions before, you might have seen these symbols. So this so upper chevron and the $. Now, it used to mean starts with and ends with. Now, these selectors work the same way, but with way less headache. Now, regular expression is something that you might experience using JavaScript, but we'll cover that in a later series. Now with substring matching selectors, you've got the tools to get super specific with your styling. No extra classes and no wasted code. All right, that's a wrap, fam. Today we broke down CSS Attribute Selectors, Presence and Value Selectors, and Substring Matching Selectors. Now with these in your toolbox, you can style your elements based on attributes, whether you're checking for their presence, matching exact values, or hunting down specific patterns in those values. Now these selectors are mad versatile, so don't be shy. Experiment with them, mix them up, and see how they level up your designs. Trust me, once you get the hang of these, you'll be styling smarter. Now, if this helped you out, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and let man know in the comments what you want to see next. Now, keep grinding, keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one. Safe.